Hello guys, how are you doing? I am back again. Today, I will be discussing May Yul-Edochie and her decision to buy a Range Rover. And I'm going to be highlighting some fundamental mistakes she made by going that route. However, before I proceed, kindly subscribe to my channel and switch on the notification so that you can get notified anytime I drop a video. And also get a pen and a paper to jot some things down because you are going to be learning a lot in this episode. Now let's get the show on the road. We also saw recently that May Edochie acquired a very expensive Range Rover to reward herself for being hardworking and to show the world that her hard work is finally paying off. Well, kudos to her. Congratulations to her. Hard work pays, and it is right for anybody that is hardworking to find time to enjoy the fruit of their hard work. And this is her own way of thanking herself, of pampering herself for being hardworking in 2024. While this is a valid move, I feel she made some fundamental financial and societal mistakes, and I'm going to be highlighting them one after the other. The number one mistake she made is her decision to go for an expensive car like Range Rover. You can celebrate your hard work without going for something that expensive. You could have gone for something like Lexus, Toyota, and it would have still been valid. Let me break it down. Range Rover is a very high maintenance car. So when you want to buy something of that nature, you don't look at the isolated sales price. You look at the cost implication of all the various variables surrounding Range Rover. I have never seen anybody that owns a Range Rover that doesn't complain about its cost of maintenance and about its so many mechanical issues. So I feel May didn't do her research well, or maybe she fell into the hands of some people that are not really sincere to have gone for a Range Rover, because the cost of maintaining a Range Rover is even more expensive than getting a Toyota or a Lexus. Just the cost of maintaining a Range Rover alone, So it was a wrong move by May. While you want to celebrate your hard work, it is important that you celebrate it in a financially sensible way. And this is not to insult her or anything. It's just to let her know that that move to get a Range Rover was a wrong one. We know that you've been hardworking, you've made a whole lot of money, but it would be painful and heartbreaking to see you waste so much money on maintaining this car, because Range Rover has a notorious history of being a high maintenance car. Another mistake that she made is not considering the security situation of the country. Nigeria is at a time where the security architecture is so fragile. So whatever you do, you have to be security conscious. Now that she has gone for a Range Rover, she's put herself on the spotlight. Now everybody will be paying attention to her, which wouldn't have been so if she had gone for a car like Lexus or Toyota, which are commonplace. Anywhere she goes to now in a Range Rover, all eyes will be on her, because Range Rover is not a common car, and that will put her on the spot. And considering the security architecture of the country, that may pose some risk to her. She didn't consider her own safety, the safety of her immediate family. Another thing is that getting a Range Rover at this time means you must be also ready to invest in your own security and safety. Is May ready to hire personal security guards? Is she ready to be renting security personnel anytime she wants to step out? I doubt that. I doubt she factored those things into buying the Range Rover, because now she can comfortably move freely in some part of the country without hiring security personnel. That is one of the disadvantages of getting a Range Rover in the current Nigeria that we have: the security and your safety. Moving on to the next point: sensitivity. Whenever you want to do anything in life, you have to be sensitive to the plight of those around you. You can't, because rain is falling in your own house, be jubilant publicly, knowing fully well that those around you are experiencing drought. That is what is happening in the case of May. Her hard work is paying off. We thank God for her. She could have celebrated it within a close circle, and it would still have been well received. But going to social media means she is somewhat insensitive, considering the fact that the country is going through a lot and so many people are hungry. Many people can't even eat once in a day. Many people are struggling to break even at the end of the month. But here you are, celebrating the purchase of a very expensive Range Rover. I think that would send a wrong message to those that are poor around us. And coming at a time where many people gift gifts. If she had made that announcement and followed it up by the fact that she is giving out some items to also celebrate a successful year, it would have been understandable. But till now, I don't think she has done something in that line. So it is going to come across as you being insensitive. And I hope the poor people around us don't get it wrong. Another mistake that I feel she made is a decision to buy an expensive car, which is actually a depreciating asset, instead of buying an appreciating asset. I'm not very sure, but I strongly doubt she has a house. I would think the best way to celebrate a successful year at this point in her life would have been to buy a house, which is an appreciating asset, an asset that her children can even inherit. And if she is not a huge fan of getting a house, she could have invested that money in stocks or shares for her children, or putting the money away in a mutual fund account, and the interest that she would be generating from that investment would be enough to sustain her lifestyle. But now she went for a Range Rover, which is expensive on its own and high maintenance. So instead of her to be making more money from that purchase, she's going to be spending more money on it. That is the tragedy of investing in a depreciating asset. Let's say, for example, she bought that Range Rover for, say, 70 million naira. Within a year, the car would have depreciated by nothing less than 20%. You see, that means the car can't even give her a great second-hand value if she wants to sell it. She will be selling it at a loss. But if she had gone for a house, and if after a year she feels she's tired of the structure of the house or the environment, she can successfully sell the house at more than 20% profits and earn more from that singular investment or that singular purchase. That is the power of an appreciating asset. And also, if she has put that 70 million in a mutual funds now are operating at 20% returns per year. That means after a year, she will be making 20% more on that 70 million. And the same thing can be said for buying stocks and shares. So there are so many ways to spend that money in such a way that the money will be working for you actively even when you are sleeping. And you end up becoming richer and richer without breaking a sweat. But now that you've gone to buy a Range Rover, you are going to be working extra hard to maintain it, working extra hard to hire security, and working extra hard again to sustain the lifestyle. Can you see the ripple effect of making a bad financial decision? So I feel it was a total wrong move. She should have just used like 20 million or 30 million of that 70 million that she used to buy that Range Rover to get maybe a Lexus or a solid Toyota, and use the remaining amount to maybe get a house in Lagos or wherever she feels like, or put it in an investment account and let that 40 million be working for you. The returns that you get from that 40 million would be enough to maintain your Toyota or Lexus, and you will still have much left over to do some other things in life. Another mistake that I feel she made is that she should have removed the surname of her estranged husband before making that announcement, because now her success is being overshadowed by that Yul-Edochie tag. Many people still feel she is riding on the wave of that surname. We know you are estranged from your husband, and since we don't even know where you stand, I feel claiming that your own hard work resulted in you being able to buy a Range Rover may be valid in some quarters, but people that don't know what is really going on will still feel you are riding on the wave of the name of your husband. So it's either of two things. I would advise that you should reconcile with your husband. It's been like over 2 years now since the incident happened. I think enough time has passed. You should reconcile with your husband and go back to how you used to be. You can still be the first wife. It's not as if you finalized your divorce. At least nothing of that is in the public domain. So it's still assumed that you are still estranged and you are still married technically, whether legally or traditionally. Until a divorce is finalized, we can't say you are divorced. So now that is the case, if you really want to show the world that all this success is as a result of your own hard work, I think the best thing for you to do is to revert to your maiden name and do away with anything Edochie. It is then that people will now be seeing you as truly hardworking, and they won't be attaching and linking your success to that name of your estranged husband. Because I feel it's unfair for anybody to link your hard work to his name. But you can't blame them because you've stuck to that name even regardless of the fact that you guys are estranged. So it's sending a mixed signal to people that, okay, you are saying you don't support polygamy, you are estranged and the likes, but you are still holding on to that name. What is in that name that you are holding on to? If the name is not that powerful and not influential in the industry or in the country, you wouldn't have been holding on to it. And their position is valid, because if we had 1 and 2 together, they are talking from a valid point of view. Because truly, if the surname is not opening doors for you, if the surname is not adding any value to your hustle, why would you stick to it? So I would advise that you remove that surname. You should have done it before you made that announcement, because now even with this announcement and attributing it to your own personal success, so many people are still saying that it's as a result of that Soname that you achieved that. So I hope it's not too late. You can remove it before the end of the year. And also the purchase, if it's not too late, I would advise that you return it to the dealership and collect a car that is less expensive and low maintenance, like Lexus or Toyota. That will ease you a whole lot of burden. And at the end of the day, you are going to thank me for drawing your attention to this, because the cost of maintaining a Toyota or a Lexus is not as expensive as maintaining that of a Range Rover. It would give you more money, give you more savings, and you will be able to move freely within the country without being noticed, without being targeted. Because Range Rover at the end of the day will just put you under unnecessary pressure, it will put you under unnecessary expenses, and it has so many add-ons that you will be spending on. It's not worth it at the end of the day. It's not a financially prudent way of celebrating your hard work. Well, I hope 2025 will also be an even greater year for you. I wish you more success. I wish you more breakthrough. I wish you more money. But at the end of 2025, ensure that you don't repeat this mistake so that I won't be forced to make another video to correct you. I wish you the best. I wish you success. Do have a great remainder of the year. And to my lovely followers, I hope you have learned one or two things from this episode. Do well to subscribe to my channel and switch on the notifications so that you can get notified anytime I drop a video. Thank you. Bye.